A social media post has caught on like wildfire, claiming a religious group that preaches God the Mother is involved with sex trafficking and uses a Bible study to lure women.
Our Megan Reyna with why these claims that haven't been proven true is harming the fight against human slavery.
I was eating lunch and I was alone. Two women approached me and asked me to go to their Bible study.
Over the past few weeks, several Texas Tech students have received this invitation. Two women approaching them about God the Mother. Sarah Bordelin says she didn't think much of it until days later when posts popped up on her social media.
Didn't see them approach anybody else, so to gauge whether that was odd or not. I didn't feel threatened until afterwards when people started making a big deal about it.
But these claims have yet to be proven true. Anna Claire Beasley, founder of the tech organization Students Ending Slavery, says all it takes is a Google search to learn these accusations are false.
In each of these campuses, the local police department did an investigation, and each time came up short. There was nothing actually like empirical data there that said that there was anything going on.
And several students have complained to Tech that this group makes them feel uncomfortable. Tech PD has asked them to leave campus and says they've complied.
If you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to talk to them, and you don't have, just like with anyone, if anyone approaches you, you don't have to talk to them. And you can, if you feel really uncomfortable and they're at your house, you can call the police if you need to. But I think we just need to be careful about not sharing that experience online and saying this is sex trafficking until you know for a fact that it is.
Beasley says this rumor is taking away from the real issue.
Sex trafficking definitely happens in Lubbock. It's a real issue in most communities, and there's a lot of good work being done in Lubbock to combat it. And I think when we sensationalize it, and we kind of make it about us, like that is when it can take away, because we're not actually helping anyone by posting false information on the internet.
She says it's unlikely traffickers will target a college campus since most victims are low-income teens.
Low risk, high profit. So is it low risk and high profit for someone to come on Tech campus and try to grab random strangers? Probably not.
Thanks for joining us for Alive at 5. We have been watching some of your thoughts on the story that we have today. I'm here with Caitlin Ross and Cheryl Preheim. Ladies, today we're going to dig into a very scary subject. Women all across the country are really frightened and talking about sex trafficking. More and more we're seeing tweets like these. Let's show you what people are really saying out here about this. They say things like sex trafficking is at an all-time high. Women should stay in the house as much as they can. Some say they're terrified to go anywhere alone and feel like they need to bring protection on outings like pepper spray or even a taser. So we don't want to water this down. Sex trafficking is a real serious issue in Atlanta. Our Atticus investigative team found it's a $290 million underground industry, but there are also some really harmful rumors being posted online about sex trafficking, and we want to let you know what's real and what's not.
We want you to take a look at just how some of those claims have spread online so quickly recently. One has been shared 65,000 times. It says 13 people in a recent Atlanta sex trafficking sting were Uber drivers. We took that claim to Atlanta police. They have no record of it, nothing that could provide any proof for that claim.
We've also covered a really serious case recently about a woman who was part of a church group. She was going up to people at Kroger asking if they wanted to join a Bible study. Suddenly, she finds this post online with her picture and her car tag accusing her of human trafficking. Police again say there is no evidence that her church group is involved in any sort of criminal activity. These are some really serious accusations leveled against big companies and then everyday people like this woman who just went online and saw herself all over the place.
Yeah, that's scary.
And it's important to point out that people who have survived human trafficking sort of tell a different story. I had a chance to interview a survivor named Karen, and she had a message really for parents saying what happens inside the home is really what makes you most vulnerable or protects you. She said when she was 11, someone groomed her over time to make her trust him, and then he promised her a big life that would save her from her situation at home.
My mother was an alcoholic, my brother was on drugs, and the other was on gangs, and I couldn't do nothing. Yes, that man told me. He said, you don't have to live like that. I will get you the diamonds and the furs. He did, but I had to sell my body to get it.
So her message is be aware of what happens, but don't be naive that what happens at home could be what makes a child most vulnerable.
Yeah, it's not like a movie where it's a kidnapper, you know, grabbing you off of the street and putting you into a van. It's much deeper than that. And some stories are very personal, like the one that she shared. So here is the thing. You could also be hurting yourself by posting this stuff online. Our legal expert, Latonia Hines, says it might be hard to hold people accountable for those fake claims on social media, but that doesn't mean it can't happen.
What you might be having is libel that you might be able to use in an actionary way. And social media is a new way of being able to do that. But it's usually a very hard standard to get to. You need to be very careful about what you say, especially when sometimes if you just want to, you know, be upset or you're frustrated and you want to vent or you say whatever, a lot of times these things have repercussions. And so you need to be careful.
And again, friends are sharing this thinking they're helping other people, not knowing if it's real or not, which is the purpose of us sharing this information with you. But hey, we hear some of you who say you are really, really concerned about the risk and it's been bothering you so much. I posted an Instagram poll. 90% of the people say they are scared to ride in rideshare services now. Heather says, I'd rather falsely accuse than it happen and nothing be said at all. So some people are saying, hey, we're just spreading it just in case the word needs to get out, and it could be true.
Right, exactly. And I posted this on my Facebook page, and so many people agree with Jack here who say it's difficult that this is even an issue in the first place, but everyone feels that they need to be vigilant because that's the culture that we live in right now. He wants to make sure that everybody is safe. So it's a difficult situation. People want to warn their friends and family. They want to make sure that they are safe. But on the flip side, a lot of these false rumors are spread very, very quickly, and they're alarming people when there is no cause for alarm there.
Yeah, there needs to be awareness, but not alarm.
All right, guys, we want to thank you for giving us all these comments and even, you know, making this a social story. So that's why we wanted to bring it to you here on social media where some of those claims are being spread, but also to say it is indeed a big issue.
We do want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. You can also reach us on Facebook and all our social media accounts. Make sure to follow us, subscribe here to our YouTube channel. It's always best when you're part of the conversation. Have a good one.
We are looking into a scary story spreading around on social media. Women are posting claims about encounters with a Bible study group and a possible connection to the sex industry. But is this true? Tonight, NBC Charlotte's Rachel Lundberg is verifying what's fact and what's fiction.
Is a religious group that's working outside Charlotte's stores really the front for a sex trafficking ring?
That's what these posts from Empower CLT claim. They go into detail warning women to stay away from nicely dressed women who approach you in public places wanting to speak about God. The posts say these women are using the Bible to draw you in, describing encounters at the North Lake Mall and Rivergate Shopping Center Target. The key word, God the Mother, a phrase they say is linked to sex trafficking rings. So is this real? Our sources are CMPD, the police department at the College of New Jersey, and social media posts from 2018. So it turns out that God the Mother has actually popped up in social media posts quite a bit. Here it is in Lexington, Kentucky, and here at a college in New Jersey. In both cases, local police found no evidence of sex trafficking connected to these posts and said they're false. Back here in Charlotte, CMPD did confirm that they've heard of these posts before, and they have had reports of contacts from the group occurring in our area, but there has been no evidence of any human trafficking cases. If you dig further, the phrase God the Mother is linked to the World Mission Society Church of God. It's a Korean church with campuses across the country, including right here in Charlotte. The church has released a statement in the past saying that these targets online are just rumors. Bottom line, there's no evidence to prove that these claims are true. So maybe think twice before sharing this kind of stuff on social media. I mean, the fact is, it is freaky and a bit concerning. Tammy Harris, the founder and executive director of the Ursus Institute, which is a local nonprofit fighting human trafficking and helping survivors, says she's very familiar and aware of these stories. So there's nothing wrong with being extra careful. With your Verify, I'm Rachel Lundberg, NBC Charlotte.
A warning going viral. Social post telling women to be careful about a group approaching people at Lenox Mall they believe could be linked to sex trafficking. Liza Lucas verifies the facts from fiction.
are sex traffickers posing as church members at Lenox Square Mall. Women are reposting this cautionary story detailing how someone was approached at the mall and asked to come to church. The post, which has gotten thousands of shares, claims the group could be linked to sex traffickers. It's not the first time we have heard of this. In October, 11 Alive tracked community concerns of young women approached in stores and parking lots in Gwinnett County and asked to join a Bible group. People wondering if that was a front for a sex trafficking group. Snellville police confirmed that was not the case, and we've heard of similar cases in Charlotte, New Jersey, and Kentucky, fueled by online rumors. So back to this viral post. We checked with Atlanta police to validate the post claim, and APD tells us they are aware of the group named in the post, but have no reason to believe they are involved in sex trafficking. So based on police information, we can verify this post claim is false. In response to the social post, Lenox Square Mall says, "We are committed to providing a safe environment for all shoppers, retailers, and employees, and take the security of our guests seriously. We encourage any concerns about unusual behavior be reported to our security team and/or the local police department." Have you spotted a viral claim that needs a closer look or have a question for us to verify? Send us your ideas via Facebook, Twitter, or via email.
The concerns keep popping up in different towns across metro Atlanta. People approaching young women outside of malls and also grocery stores, asking them to join a Bible study.
Concerned parents are posting about it online, worried that it could be a front for sex trafficking. Some of those posts have been shared thousands of times. 11 Alive took those concerns to police in Snellville and Atlanta after women were approached at a Kroger in Gwinnett County and at Lenox Square Mall in Buckhead. Both departments said there's no indication that the groups are involved in any criminal activity. Now 11 Alive's Deborah Tuff is speaking with church group members to hear their side of the story. You talked to a woman who's part of this, Deb.
Yes, Cheryl, I did it. That woman in that post folks just saw was in Grayson when she says she ended up on the wrong end of a viral post that included a blurry picture of her and her car tag. Now, she says she initially had no idea a parent had posted it on Facebook, blasting her for her approaching a young girl at a store. Now, Salome Escobedo says last Friday she was at the Kroger in Grayson inviting people to join her Bible group. She says she's a member of World Mission Society Church of God, and they believe in God the Mother. Now, Escobedo says she tried to talk to a couple of folks. They weren't interested. She came up to a third person who said the same thing. Now, Escobedo says soon after that, young woman's mother confronted her, cussing her out and secretly taking photos that she posted on Facebook. She was concerned the accusations could actually cost her her job, but she said the church's tactics won't change and people need to know who they are.
We do a lot of community service as well, because through the community services also we can show to the people in this room that truly our teachings is based on love. Actually, that's God the Mother's love.
Now, I did ask why the group seems to only approach women. She says members feel more comfortable approaching women or couples when they're alone. And if members have a man with them, she says they'll approach men too. We know a lot of you may still have concerns about being approached by strangers. The best advice, if you feel uncomfortable or like your safety is at risk, contact police or let a store manager know right away.
This viral post, people on Facebook and Twitter sharing pictures and stories about an underground sex trafficking ring, but does it even exist?
Rachel Carden looked into the post and talked to police who say this threat actually is not legitimate, right?
That's right, Barbara and Kurt. So get this. Apparently people on social media are saying they or their friends are being approached by people claiming to belong to the Mother of God group. They say the group is a human or sex trafficking network out to get you or your kids. But police say they don't have a single report that this group even exists.
Some of the posts have been shared thousands of times. It's on Facebook and Twitter. Warnings about the Mother of God human trafficking ring. But according to researchers, the quantity of the posts mean nothing.
Just because something has been shared a lot actually means that it will be shared a lot more. So you can't rely on the number of likes or the number of shares or retweets.
What about the locations? These types of posts are popping up across the country, but that doesn't make them real either. People everywhere worry about human trafficking, making the threat seem more real, according to Perry.
We have a confirmation bias. You know, if we are concerned about some specific thing and we see a post that validates what we think is true, That's what we want to grab onto and believe.
This post in Virginia Beach quickly got a lot of attention. A woman said these two women approached her and brought up Mother of God. The person who posted said she denied their inquiries, but the police in all 7 cities don't have any reports that this threat is real.
They are going to be aware of things that are widespread. So yeah, once something has gotten rolling, they will have had reports. They will certainly have looked into it.
Virginia Beach police released this statement to us when we asked about the post, saying, quote, "This has been a viral post with no known credibility or merit. We've had investigators look into it in Virginia Beach, and they have found no such reports."
Social media researchers caution you to fact check everything you see on social media, especially if you don't know the source. And if you have a real concern, of course, reach out to your local police department.
Thank you for making us your choice in news. I'm Katie Hinker. Those stories are just ahead. But first, how can we tell when rumors we see circulating on social media are real? KIMT News 3's Brooke McKivergan has been looking into viral posts about human trafficking warnings and is live in our Rochester newsroom with what she's learned about stories like this. Brooke.
Katie, I see it on Facebook all the time, women claiming that they've been targeted. And today I saw a post that shocked me, so I decided to dive a little deeper. One of my Facebook friends shared this post claiming that people were trying to lure young women into sex trafficking by asking if they would come to their Bible study. I reached out to both Mason City Police Department and RPD, who both tell me that they haven't heard anything of it. In fact, Captain Sherwin from RPD tells me that without a doubt, this is not how sex traffickers operate. This rumor ended up being false, and as I headed to Snopes.com, I found many others were debunked as well. One teen I spoke with today tells me that actually educators in today's school system don't talk about sex trafficking, and she wishes they would.
I think it's something that they need to talk about because it's so obviously common at this point, but I think every school should be talking about it.
Live in Rochester, Brooke McKivergan, KIMT News 3.
Now, Captain Sherwin also says that typically most sex trafficking victims are known to the offender and are vulnerable either due to socioeconomic status, addiction, citizenship issues, and more.